Greetings. This is Matt, the solo gamer, and as you can see, we are back on our Mass Effect 3 shenanigans. And at this point, I've more or less, I am maxed out. Like, anything I do now is just bonus time for me. But I'm gonna be doing I did a
What kind of soldier looks at a camp that turns people into husks and goes,
I did a full run through.
Same guy that lets Cerberus Commander check into it. Seems Tali's taking what happened on Horizon hard. She's in the lounge if you want to check on her.
Okay, I'll go say hi. One of the funniest things ever, right here. Drunk Tali.
Shepard! Want a drink? I'm toasting Miranda, I think.
how are you getting drunk?
Very careful. Torian brandy, triple filtered, then introduced into the suit through an emergency induction port.
That's a straw.
That's a straw, Tali.
Emergency induction port. It's actually getting a little harder to get it into the slot. I think that means it's working. She was so rude. What did Jack call her? Cerberus cheerleader? With her perfect genes and that attitude and still, she got it done. She stopped her father.
Yep.
I didn't realize this would be so hard on you.
I didn't like her. Keela, she was such a bitch. But I respected her. Sometimes that's better than liking. She did whatever it took to stop her father. She never gave in to him, never changed herself to please him.
Ah,
Don't me. You sound like a Vorcha.
seeing a bit of yourself in Miranda fighting her father?
I spent my life trying to live up to him. Then making up for his mistakes, doing what he'd have wanted.
It's never that easy.
When do we get to stop reacting to our parents and start living for ourselves?
The answer to that one's at the bottom of that glass.
I might need help with the induction straw. Port. You know.
Here's to Miranda.
Nice job, you genetically perfect Cerberus cheerleader Boschtet. Kila Solai.
Yeah. That's funny. In so many ways, that is just exactly what I would have expected Tali to do. Weird to see her, of all people, getting plowed, but hey, okay.
Can you feel it, Shepard? Feel the quickening? Elusive man better say his prayers tonight, because we are coming for him. Murderous asshole. Oh, yeah. Tide is turning. I feel it.
I buried more than my share of bodies, believe me. He'll get his soon enough.
I've studied Protheans,
Yeah, accelerate them
You
cooldowns,
would have
Barry.
needed Shepard's cipher to comprehend it.
I still could have learned from it. Instead, my mother hid the galaxy's most important archaeological find from me. It must have been such a joke to her when I became a Prothean researcher.
The penalties for withholding protean technology are among the harshest in Council space. Your mother's motives may have been simply to shield you.
Perhaps. Thank you, Edie. I hadn't considered that.
Possible because I love that. She's thinking about writing a book with Javik. It's like, you realize he's probably not
Miranda?
interested.
She'll make a recovery.
I'm not surprised. Miranda always struck me as a driven woman. I'm glad she made it.
Alright, one last thing to do. Want to sneak up on Garrett, see how he's doing.
So the elusive man really believes he can control Reapers. Husks are one thing, but a whole fleet? The man is insane.
Yeah. I'd say that's about right. Doesn't change the fact that he's probably going to try anyway. Alright, let's head back upstairs.
Unread messages at your private terminal, Commander.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Kyle Rieger gets killed fighting on Palaven. Pretty cool. He was like tougher than
Has issued warnings about Sanctuary.
Coffin Nails.
Horizon was my home. Just tell me you're going to take Cerberus down.
Cerberus is already dead. They just don't know it yet. And when their base is nothing but a smoking crater, remember that you're the one who helped us find them.
Thanks.
Alright, so let's go ahead and head to the Citadel, do the introduction for the DLC, and then I'll pause there and we will start the final DLC of the game. Which, notable thing, you have to do the DLC before you launch the Cerberus Assault mission. All because they didn't put in a follow-on, because if you've played the game, you know that depending upon the ending, you probably never make it out of this alive. And even if you do, you're in no condition to go anywhere after that battle. So yeah, I'd say let's hit the party spot before we call it before we turn in, I suppose. Personal apartment time. I have to be fair, this is one of the coolest locations in the game too.
Commander, I've got Admiral Anderson on the QEC. Patching him through to you now.
Shepard,
Admiral, how you holding up?
day by day, Commander.
Yeah. Hackett sent me a message about this apartment.
I want you to have it. Take it off my hands.
Are you serious?
You need a place that's yours. Somewhere to recharge, clear your head. Kaylee wanted us to settle down there. Thing is, the longer I'm on Earth, the less I want to leave. And I want as few loose ends out there as possible. Like I said, you'd be doing me a favor.
That's very generous.
It's practical. We need you in the best shape possible. Rested. Focused.
If you say so. Thank you.
And make yourself at home, damn it. It's yours now.
I'm sure I can manage.
Okay, good. Been meaning to do that for a while. I'll talk to you soon.
Be careful out there, Anderson.
You too, Shepard.
Aww. Now, I'm just going to do a quick overview, but I guess being an admiral has its perks, because this place this is a hell of an apartment.
You never asked me about this, but my wife just called. My ex-wife. Nobody likes to talk about the toll that long.
But yeah, it's definitely one of those things where
Relationships. She wasn't military.
there's a neat thing where if you wander around, you will see that Anderson left notes about a number of different subjects, including his experience as an N7, all that kind of jazz. One of my favorites is, if you check it, he has one specifically on you, and it changes depending upon your background to a certain extent. There's also a cool little video thing you can watch where he does a full like biography thing. But it's neat that he has all this stuff that is part and parcel with it, and you can sort of like get a full background. You can even customize the place to a limited extent. And then to truly begin the story, you get this message from Joker. Dinner at the sushi place. Okay. Then if you want, you can do a little bit more exploring before you take off. There's all the standard amenities. Anderson was well-to-do, no doubt, apparently. He's got all kinds of neat stuff that you would expect, but yeah, like if this was the kind of apartment he had on the Citadel of all places, he was doing pretty good. Normandy SR1, shower. There's a hilarious thing where if you have Grunt as one of your guys during a later event, he winds up in the shower just drunk off his ass. Turian experience. Apparently Anderson trained with the Turians at one point. Did not know that. Did not know that. Okay. And then childhood background. And then there's your armor, your weaponry, all that gear can be customized here. And then there's a hot tub. And yes, there is a scene with it involving one of the characters. So, I'm going to pause it here. And we will begin the next phase of this story shortly. But to put it succinctly, this is the beginning of what I feel is one of the best fan service focused stories you'll ever see in a game. And it is fan service. Do not mistake that. I'm not saying that as a bad thing. This is pure 100% fan service. And it knows it and it embraces it. And I love that. But it is good. It is solid stuff. And I'm going to do a full playthrough of it. At least the main storyline. Might do some of the side stuff too later on, because it has a lot of really neat little emotional side content, and I think it has there's a lot of really good bonding and humor in the game, and I think this is the exemplified version of it. This is where it all comes together. In a real sense, this was a combination of a love letter and an apology to the fan base. A love letter for all their support throughout the years and all the things they did as a community, and also an apology for the initially and undeniably atrocious ending that the game launched with. But we will continue from there. I will see you with the next episode. Still thinking of a title. I'm thinking Sushi Shootout might be fun. But we'll see you then. This is the Solo Gamer. Matt, out.